as a lesbian, I feel like I have, at the same time, no authority and all of the authority to speak on this. Horror movies are chock full of shitty men, from the like actually evil, kill your family and all your friends type, to the ones that are just annoying. The characters I want to talk about today are not the actual crime committer variety, maybe with the exception of like one on this list that's kind of like a gray area, but this list is for the men that when they're on screen, like when their characters are on screen, I see their stupid faces. I just want to scream. And I'll explain why, and I feel like you'll get it probably after the first one. So let's get into it. At number 8 is Crispin from You're Next. He is the kind of gray area because he does create a plot with one of his brothers to kill his entire family to collect on the inheritance, and that technically is a crime, but somehow he's just like extra annoying about it. Like, how are you going to create this whole plan and hire mercenaries to kill your family and then wuss out? Also, you never asked about your girlfriend's past. You deserved to have your plans royally ruined by a baddie that you did not deserve at all. Typical case of he's a 3 and she's a 10. Next is Alex from Ready or Not. And I'm not gonna lie, he had us going in the first half. And they kind of take you on a roller coaster ride with this character. At first, you are very rightfully mad because he didn't tell his new wife about his crazy family tradition. But then you kind of feel bad because it definitely seems like he hates his family and he's not close with his family necessarily, and his family are shitheads, so you are kind of willing to extend some sympathy. But then at the end, he tries to complete the ritual anyway after everything and tries to placate Grace when that doesn't work. Like, what? What a baby. And I was annoyed at him from the jump because of the way he acted when she pulled the hide and seek card. Like, you knew it was a possibility. You knew that was a possibility going in, and you still let her go in. At number 6 is Guy from Rosemary's Baby. I genuinely feel like in this movie, he wants nothing to do with Rosemary most of the time. And you think he would maybe treat her, I don't know, just a little better after using her body to further his career. But no, he distances himself from her even more after she becomes pregnant. The cherry on top is at the end when Rosemary confronts the coven and you see his bitch ass trying to hide in the background. Like, he's just too embarrassed to be seen by her, which he should be. So not only can he use his wife for fame and fortune, but he can't even face the results in the end? What a fucking idiot. I hate seeing his stupid face every time I rewatch this movie. Coming in at number 5 is Christian from Midsommar. I've never seen someone fumble a situation, a conversation with your partner so badly. You want to break up with your family right when she experiences probably the most tragic thing that she'll ever experience. I get that that is bad timing. That is a shit situation to be in all around. And people like to bring up that argument when I want to talk shit about Christian, which valid, but he also fails to tell his girlfriend at all about a trip he was planning to take with the boys. And then he's a doormat to her coming along. Multiple instances where you could just pull your partner aside, have a conversation, have a discussion, and then he has the audacity to be annoyed that she's coming. Like, I'm getting mad doing this video. Like, you created the situation, dude. And honestly, who knows what would have happened if she didn't come along. You might have avoided ending up in a bear carcass and burned alive if you had just been up front in the first place. In the number 4 spot is Trent from the Friday the 13th reboot. This guy. I will say I feel like this character is absolutely written for you to hate him. That's his purpose in the movie for sure. There's no doubt about that. It's so effectively done because like steam comes out of my ears every time I've rewatched this movie. You're not supposed to like or feel sorry for this dude. He's misogynistic, definitely thinks of himself as an alpha male. And we can tell this by the way that he's immediately threatened by his girlfriend talking to another man about his lost sister. Everyone knows that's a front for flirting, obviously. And then surprise, surprise, he cheats on his girlfriend on a trip with his girlfriend. Like, I feel like they almost just laid it on a little too thick with this character. Like, there's not a single redeemable thing about him in this movie. Plus, he's just got a really punchable face, and that kind of feels mean to say because I'm saying that about the actor's face. I'm sure the actor is a really nice person, but that face with that character, I just want to land one good punch. I want to break that nose. Top 3 time. Next up is Carter from Final Destination. Honestly, like, Carter doesn't do much wrong when you think about it, but he just does too much of it. So his whole thing is just being mad at Alex, really for no reason. The dude gets pulled off the plane for trying to fight with Alex because Alex is essentially having a panic attack about the vision that he saw, right? Like, he could have just stayed silent and let Alex be pulled off the plane. Would that have meant he died on flight 180? Yes. But that was his destiny anyway, if you think about it. Plus, it really doesn't matter anyway, because after he's even saved from the flight, because of Alex, he continues to antagonize Alex every time he sees him. And it's kind of wild. I almost don't understand why in this movie. Like, literally every time they're together, this dude's antagonizing him for some reason. I think Terry was 100,000% correct to call Carter on his shit right before she was unfortunately hit by a bus, but honestly her annoyance at it was completely valid. Taking second place is Peter from the original Black Christmas. On top of throwing a fit after a piano recital, just saying that sentence, it sounds like I'm talking about a 5-year-old, not a fully grown adult. But this man has the gall, the absolute audacity to argue with Jess about her getting an abortion, which is only ever 100% her choice and her right to do safely. And he thinks he has any say. Like, the way he talks to her in that scene when they're discussing this sends me every time I rewatch this movie. And the dude, like, could not care less about Jess's friends and sorority sisters that are going missing. Couldn't give a fuck about that. Like, for once, the police were right in suspecting Peter as the caller in that movie because he was a D1 creep. And that leaves number 1. This award goes to what I feel is the most irritating horror movie character boyfriend. And unfortunately, he's one of the main characters in this movie. And therefore, I have to suffer through his bullshit for all 86 minutes of Paranormal Activity. Mika, you absolute piece of shit. This man, I'm like, the anger has been building up to this moment in this video. This man deliberately goes against what his partner, Katie, asks of him, which is to not antagonize the entity. Katie was worried. Katie was scared. Those are things that, like, you should care about somebody that you care about feeling. Like, if your partner is worried and scared and feels unsafe, why would you do the thing they're asking you not to do? So he deliberately is like, fuck that, I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna get a camera, and I'm gonna do my little experiments with sprinkling flour on the floor and finding all these things out. And he continues to disrespect Katie throughout the entire movie. Like, she draws a firm line when she says, we're not gonna fuck with a Ouija board, when he tries to bring that up to her. And then he goes behind her back to do the Ouija board thing anyway. And then when she calls him on his disrespect in the movie, he has the He has the absolute audacity. They all have the audacity, but he has the most audacity to like throw it back in her face that she never told him about the entity in the first place. Like, was that supposed to be like a date 1 or date 2 conversation? Don't act like you would have believed her anyway. If no other character on this list deserved what happened to them in their movie, Mika definitely does. That's my list of shitty horror movie boyfriends of the not really evil variety. I would love to hear what yours are in the comments. And if this video made you as angry and annoyed as it did me, just take another deep breath. It's all okay. They're fictional. I will see you next week with some new videos. Until then, stay strange. Bye.